Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon. I know it's been a few days. It's been about a week or so that we met. So, good afternoon. I hope you all are doing great. You have enjoyed your summer. I know it's about time to get ready to go back to school, and I want to let you know that we're here to help you as you transition back to school. And so today we're going to be having a session focused on elementary to middle school, and we're going to just help you with a refresher on topics that you need to remember before you start your school session. So we're going to do our sessions the way we normally do them. So we're going to have questions out here and then give everyone a chance, and if no one is sure how to go about it, then we'll go ahead and show you exactly what to do to answer those questions. So I know some may have started school already. I know in some states school has already started, and for some they're starting later this week, and I know most will be going to school at the beginning of next week, or I know some schools are going back after Labor Day. So we're here to help you. Just want to let you know, parents, students, we're here. I know that there are a lot of different challenges with what's happening with going back to school. I want to let you know that we're here to assist you. We still have our sessions that we're going to be doing on the weekday, and also we have private sessions available. We have semi-private, which is really a really small group, maybe a more intimate group, maybe 2 or 3 students that may be interested in learning together. So that's what we call our semi-private group. And we also have a small group, which is going to be 4 to 7 students. So I just want to let you know that these resources are available to you. We're going to be here to help you with homework assistance and whatever else you may need to make sure that you are successful in your school. All right, so today we're going to start with some of our questions, and I'm going to give you topics that are about first, second grade up to about 6th or 7th grade thereabout, and we'll walk through them together. And I want you to feel free to ask questions. If you have any questions, for those that may already be back in school, if you have any questions that you have that you want me to help you answer, please also feel free to ask those questions, and I'll be glad to assist you with them. All right, so let's start with our first topic. I know in the summer I try to stay away from grades and just listed the topic, but we're back to school, so I want to let you know what grades we're centering this topic around. But I also want you to know that everyone is free to answer the questions, and this is an opportunity for us to learn. Remember that this is preparing you to go back to school, and so we're going to be looking at different topics just to help you refresh your memory. I know for those that attended our summer program, it's been over for more than 2 weeks. So this is just a good opportunity for you to get some more work in. Okay, so our question here is the population of Bradley County is 84,675. Express this number in expanded form. We're going to be expressing this in expanded form. I'm going to have topics. There's going to be topics for you as long as you are in elementary to middle school. There'll be topics for you, and be patient. I'm going to shuffle them around so that everyone gets a chance to get questions answered for them. But if you're here and there are topics, if you're in elementary or middle school, and there are topics you're really interested in learning, or you have questions about, maybe you learn it in school and it's not very clear, please ask the question. I will be very happy to, attend to your needs as well. Okay, so let's see. We have this question. The population of Bradley County is 84,675. Express this number in expanded form. So that's really what this is. We're reviewing place value. So we're going to be learning, or I'm going to remind you how to express numbers like this in expanded form. If you're in second grade or third grade, or if you're going to second grade or going to third grade, this is a topic that you should be familiar with. It will help you a lot. So I'm going to give you a few moments to try to answer the question, and then I'll go ahead and show you exactly what to do. If you're not sure what to do, just let me know and I will just go ahead and walk through it. So let's try to put maybe 30 more seconds on the clock and see. I know there are a lot of, I know students are trying to get back into the groove of school, and you know, students are also trying to get ready for school, and so maybe you may feel lethargic or whatever, but I want you to feel inspired that we're working on things that would help you definitely as you get back into school. Okay, so let's go ahead and walk through this together. So the population of Bradley County is 84,675. Express this number in expanded form. So what we're going to do is I'm going to write the number out the way it is, the way we have it, and I'm going to put a lot of space because I want to show you a method that is going to be very helpful to you. So we have 8, we have 4, we have 6, 7, 5. So for us to write this number in expanded form, we have to know the place value first. So let's start with looking at what the place value for each of these digits is. We always, when we're working on place values, we always go from the right all the way to the left. So we're going to start here. This is going to be ones. This is going to be tens. This is going to be hundreds. This is going to be thousands, and then this is 10,000s. Okay, so now we have we have the place value for each of the digits in this number. Now we're going to go take the next step, and we're going to now express each of these in expanded form. So for 8, when we're expressing in expanded form, we're going to go from left to right. So we're going to go with 8 is, the place value is 10,000. So it's going to be 8 multiplied by 10,000. And the place value for 4 is 1,000 plus 4 multiplied by 1,000 plus 6 multiplied by 100. If you notice, I'm just multiplying by the place value, the number that represents the place value, and then plus 7 multiplied by 10 plus 5 multiplied by 1. So that is so now we're going to simplify this, and that will give us our expanded form. So one thing you want to remember, whenever you're multiplying a number by a number that ends with zeros, ignore the zeros and multiply the non-zero digits, which simply means the digits that are not zero. So 8 multiplied by 1 is going to give us 8, and then we're going to count the number of zeros. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so we need to put a comma. We're going to count from the right to the left, count 3 digits and place a comma. 1, 2, 3, we place a comma. Now plus 4 multiplied by 1,000 is going to give us 4,000. 1, 2, 3, put a comma, plus 600 plus 70 plus 5. So this is this number in expanded form. If you have any questions as we go along, please, I'll be taking a look at the chat. Make sure that I'm addressing the questions that you have. So if you have any questions, ask in the chat and I'll be sure to get to it. Okay, so let's go to the next question. Now this is adding decimals. This is 4th grade, 5th grade. If you're going to 4th grade or 5th grade, this is one of the first few topics that you're going to be learning in your grade. What is the value of 235.08 plus 65.892? So that's what I want you to try to answer this question. And there's some important things that you need to know whenever you're adding decimals that I want to test for here. So if you have an answer, please let me know. If otherwise, just let me know. If you're not even sure how to go about this, maybe you've never seen decimals, you don't know what they are, you can just feel free to tell me that you're not sure, and then we'll get right to it. All right, if you're joining us for the first time, if this is your first time studying with us or learning with us, feel free to subscribe. You can also, we ask you to subscribe, like this video, and share with your friends. Also, if you're in a higher grade, maybe higher than middle school or elementary school, and you have questions, please feel free to ask. We will accommodate your questions. The most important thing for us is to make sure that you're ready for school. Okay. And parents, if you're here and you need some help, I know there's a lot of confusion right now, and with the online and maybe virtual learning or hybrid or strictly in person, and you just need some assistance, some guidance on how to help your children be better prepared for the learning styles that they'll be forced to adopt. We're also here to help you to help you with guidance on those as well. So let's go ahead and try to answer this question together. So we have, what is the value of 235.08 plus 65.892? So here's the most important thing we need to remember. We have to line up the decimal points. So I'm going to put a decimal point right here, and I'm going to put another one right here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to write the numbers to the right of the decimal. So I'm going to have 0, 8 over here, and then for the other one I'm going to have 8, 9, 2. So now let's go to the left. We have 5 over here, and then we have 3, and then we have 2, and then to the left on this side we have 5, and then we have 6. So what I'm going to now do, which is a best practice, is when you look at the digits on the top row and the bottom row, if there are any gaps, just put a 0 to represent the gaps here. So I'm going to put a 0 here, and I'm going to put a 0 here as well. Now we can add, and you can see that it almost seems like you're adding just numbers. So 0 plus 2, we have 2. 8 plus 9, we have 17, so we write 7, and we bring 1 up here. 1 plus 0 plus 8 is going to give us 9. 5 plus 5, we have 10, so we're going to write 0 and bring 1 up here. 1 plus 3, 4 plus 6, that's 10. We're going to write a 0 here and bring 1 up here. And then we have 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is going to give us 300.972. And that is going to be the sum of these two decimal numbers. So that's that. Are there any questions? Remember, you can ask questions as we go along. You can ask questions as we go along. If you're on Facebook, we'll also get to you. Periscope will get to you as well. Okay, so now that we have this, let's go to the next question. One of the things that I want students to always become comfortable with is fractions. Because when you have a good grasp of fractions, it makes your math learning so much simpler. It makes it less stressful. It reduces your fear of math. And I can tell you that, some of the students I have worked with, even all the way to college, fractions could still be a problem. So what I want to do with students is, when you're in elementary school, I want to make sure you have enough of a fraction drill that it becomes just natural for you. So let's go ahead and try to answer these two questions. We have two fractions that we're trying to solve. One of them is an addition, and the other one is a division. And I'm going to give you a simple hint that you need to have at the back of your mind. Whenever you are adding or subtracting fractions, you always have to make sure that the denominators are exactly the same before you can do anything. So whatever it takes to make the denominators the same is what you should aim for. For those that have joined, thank you for joining. Welcome, and let us know if you have any questions. If there are things that you're learning in school, if you're back in school already, if there are things you're learning in school that you need additional assistance with, let us know. Be glad to help you with that. Okay, so let's go ahead and add the fraction, and then also divide the fraction, and then we'll look at it together. The practice we have is I'll give you an opportunity to try to answer the question, because I know sometimes in math, when you feel like you can answer it, it boosts your confidence in math. So I want you to get a chance, and if you're not sure how to go about it, then we can go through it together as a group, and then that should also give you opportunities to see where you may have gotten it wrong or where you have a gap in your knowledge, and we can help you address that. Also, feel free to share this with your friends. Subscribe, like the video, and share with your friends. We're going to resume now that school is back in session. We're going to do our best to keep having these sessions on Tuesdays and Thursdays to assist you with your learning. And if you prefer the private session, or you want something more intimate, so it's going to be one-on-one, or you want to learn with your friends, maybe one or two friends, we also have that opportunity for you. Just let us know and we'll be happy to get with you on that. So 6/8, okay, I see. So thank you for responding. Whoever is responding, thank you for responding, and we'll get through it together. We'll get through these questions together in a few minutes. So I'm going to give about 30 more seconds so we can answer this question together, and we can move on to some other things. Okay, let's go ahead and try to answer the first question together. So I had said to you earlier that whenever you're adding fractions, you have to make sure that your denominators are exactly the same number before you can do anything with the fractions. So that requires you to come up with a common denominator, least common denominator. And to do that, in this case, we have two prime numbers, so we can just simply multiply 5 by 3, and that is going to give us 15. So the next thing we're going to do after that is to rewrite each of those fractions so that they have the same denominator. So here's what we mean by that. We've already agreed that our denominator is going to be 15. So what we're going to do here is we have 4/5. We're going to multiply 5 by 3 to get 15. And so we're going to multiply 4 by 3 to get 12. So this is the same as 12/15. And then the second one is 2/3. For us to get to 15, we multiply 3 by 5 and also multiply 2 by 5. We have 10/15. So now we have two fractions. We've created two new fractions that have the same denominator. So I'm going to put this equal to here, and this is going to be 12/15 plus 10/15. Now that we have a common denominator, we can add the numerators together. So this is going to give us 12 plus 10/15, which is going to give us 22/15. So this is the answer. This is the first step, and it all depends on the type of teachers you have. This may be acceptable, but a good practice is to always convert it back to a mixed number. So to convert to a mixed number, we're going to do a division. It's usually a long division here. We are going to have the numerator inside here. The numerator is what we call our dividend, and the denominator is what we call our divisor. And so it's going to come over here. And so how many groups of 15 do we get in 22? We only have one group. 1 multiplied by 15 is 15. And then we subtract and we're left with 7. So now we have our mixed, we're going to create our mixed number. And here is, I just look at it this way. Let's take a journey around the numbers that are on the outside. We take a journey around the numbers on the outside, and that is going to give us one whole number, because that's where we start. And then we go to 7, that's going to be our numerator, and then 15 is going to be our denominator. So that's going to give us our mixed fraction, or some will call it a mixed number, after you have added these numbers together. So let's go to the second one. Does anyone want to try answer the second one? Okay, so do we have anyone feel like they want to try this? Okay, I'm going to show you. It looks like we're not, it looks like maybe you're not sure, maybe we've forgotten how to answer this type of question. Parents, feel free to answer, it's always fun. Okay, 1 and 1/7. Okay, Anastasia, let's see how, let's do it together and see what answer we come to. And always remember here, don't feel like you always have to be right. We're all learning, so it's a safe environment for you to just be free to answer questions, and don't worry about being right or wrong all the time. Okay, so let's go ahead and do this division together. With the division, well, the technique you want to remember is you have to leave the fraction on the left the way it is. So that is 6/7. Okay, Jaden, I see lost some contribution. That's wonderful. And we're going to change the division sign to a multiplication, and then we're going to flip the fraction on the right hand side. So what that simply means is that the numerator becomes the denominator, and then the denominator becomes the numerator. So this is now, instead of 3/4 here, we're going to have 4/3. And so let's go ahead and simplify. This is going to give us 6 multiplied by 4. Yeah, that's one way. Well, let's do it this way. 6 multiplied by 4, we have 24. 7 multiplied by 3, we have 21. And then we need to see if we have a common factor. And here you can see that 3 is a common factor. And so 24 divided by 3, we have 8. 21 divided by 3, we have 7. So now we're going to, because this is an improper fraction, which simply means that the numerator is larger than the denominator, we're going to convert it to a mixed number as well. So we do exactly the same thing we did here. So we have 8, 7. How many groups of 7 in 8? We have 1. 1 multiplied by 7. We have 7. We subtract and we're left with 1. So we're going to make a trip again around the numbers on the outside. So we're going to go that way. And it's going to give us 1, which is this number here. 1 is our remainder. And then we have 7 as our divisor. So that is very good. Good job to everyone who has attempted the question. Uchena, Jaden, Anastasia, and oh, someone deleted theirs. Don't feel bad that you got it wrong. This is all part of the process of learning. Sometimes you get it wrong, sometimes you don't. But the most important thing is that you understand where you went wrong. And if you're not sure, you don't understand what the method or the technique they were using, also ask and I'll be happy to clarify as many times as required to help you understand. Okay, are there any questions so far? Any questions? Okay, let's go over to the next one. We're looking at order of operations here. So I know the grade that this topic is focused on is here, but I want you to feel free to answer it. You may be in 3rd grade, but you already know this. You may also be in 5th grade, and you already know it. So go ahead and answer. So remember, whenever you have order of operations, you have to think PEMDAS. PEMDAS. That is what we need to think about. And you can put this right here showing that they have the same order, but you have to treat them differently from left to right. So we're going to be looking at PEMDAS, PEMDAS, PEMDAS. Here you may have to deal with positive and negative numbers as well. Positive and negative integers. You may have to deal with that here. And so let's go ahead and simplify. Let's go ahead and simplify. So PEMDAS simply means that we start with the parentheses. If we have parentheses, we need to simplify those first. If we have exponents, those go next. M and D, which is multiplication and division. If you have multiplication and division in a problem, you are going to always look to the left of the problem and see which of them comes first. So it's possible that the division comes first because the multiplication comes before the division in this acronym doesn't necessarily mean that you always have to do multiplication first. You're going to look to the left of the problem and see which one comes first. The same goes with addition and subtraction. Look to the left, see which one comes first, and simplify. All right, looks like Jaden has an answer. Very good. So let us go ahead and try to answer this together. So we have parentheses right here. We have some parentheses here. We also have parentheses and parentheses here. So what we're going to do is we'll start with what is in the inner parentheses, and that's going to be 7 minus 11. Now, if you're not familiar with adding and subtracting or dealing with positive and negative numbers, here's the rule. Whenever the signs are different, you're going to subtract the numbers and attach the sign of the larger number to your answer. So let's look at it. Different signs. This is one of my favorite topics. Different signs. We're going to subtract the numbers and then add sign of larger number or larger digits or integer or number, whichever one you want to use, sign of larger number to the answer. Okay, so here we have 7 and 11. Whenever there's no sign to the left of a number, just safely assume it's a positive or it's a plus. So we have 7 and 7 minus 11. So we're going to just ignore the signs first. Subtract 7 from 11, we have 4. And then now we'll examine the numbers, original numbers we got, and see which of these, what is the sign on the bigger number. 11 is greater than 7, and the sign on 11 is negative, so we're going to have negative 4 plus 15, and then multiplied by 42. So now we still have PEMDAS again. Parenthesis comes first, and so we're going to go ahead and solve this, whatever is in the parenthesis. The same thing we're going to do, we subtract the numbers, so we have 15 minus 4, we have 11, and then the sign on the larger number is positive, so that is going to be plus 11 multiplied by 42. Plus 11 multiplied by 42, and so we're going to go ahead and solve this. 42 multiplied by 11, 42 multiplied by 11, so we have 2 multiplied by 1, 2. We have 4 here, 4 multiplied by 1. And now we go over to this digit here. We have a 0. 2 multiplied by 1, we have 2. 4 multiplied by 1, we have 4. We're going to put a 0 up here and then just add 2, 6, and then 4. So this is going to be 462. Great job to those. Okay, good. Anastasia, Jaden, good job on that. Okay, do we have any questions on this topic? All right, thank you everyone for your response. It's very good to see you all participating. I know it took some time to get back into the groove, so I hope this is clear. You understand it. If you're not quite sure, let me know. We'll go over other examples. Okay, let's go to the next one. We're going to express 9 over 14 as a decimal. So we're going to express this fraction as a decimal. We're looking at expressing a fraction as a decimal. After this, we're going to do a puzzle, something, it's like a brain teaser. And after then, we'll go on with some other math topics. So express 9 over 14 as a decimal. Let me know if you have any questions. If you're not even sure how to go about this, let me know, and then we'll just go ahead and do it together. So how's everyone? Are you all back in school yet? I know that there are lots of different schedules with schools right now. Are you back in school? Are you guys going to be hybrid, or are you going to be in person, or are you just going to be virtual, completely virtual? How are you guys? For those who have started school and you are in maybe the virtual, your virtual learning, how's that going for you? And those that are already in school, I know a lot of schools are asking students to wear masks all through the day, and maybe sometimes have an extra one. How are you guys adjusting to that? It'll be nice to hear, what you guys are doing. And I know it's challenging. I know sometimes I have to wear masks for extended periods of time, and it can be very uncomfortable. But how you guys are adjusting to that, and also in your learning environment. Okay, so let's see if we can answer this together. We're going to be expressing a fraction as a decimal. So what we're going to do here is simply create our division. So we're going to be using the long division method for this. So we see 0.64. Okay, let's see where we land. You may be right, probably close. So let's go ahead and try to answer this together, and I'll show you something that I really prefer that you do when you are dealing with this type of fractions. And so let's go ahead. We have 9 remember I said earlier, your numerator here is going to be your dividend, and your denominator here is going to be your divisor. So we have 9 here. Let me use a different color just so we can show a difference here. 9 and 14. So now we're going to start our long division. We want to find out how many groups of 14 do we have in 9. Definitely 9 is less than 14. So you have 0 groups of 14 in 9. So 0 multiplied by 14, we have 0, we have 9, and then we know that if we continue, we just keep having 0. So what we're going to do now is we're going to put a decimal point here, and that decimal point gives us the license to make this 90 here, and then we can bring it down. Some do it this way, or some just put the 0 here. It doesn't matter which method you use. This is not the method I use, but this is a common method. So you're just going to put the 0 right next to 9. So how many groups of 14 are there in 90? You're going to have 6. 6 multiplied by 14, you have 84. And then we subtract, and that's going to give us 6. And now you ask yourself, how many groups of 14 are there in 6? That's 0. But look, because you have this decimal point here, you are allowed to make this 60. So 60 divided by 14, we have 4. 4 multiplied by 14, we have 56. We subtract and we have 4 here. 4 divided by 14, how many groups of 14 in 4? 0, but the decimal allows us to make this 40. 40 divided by 14, we have 2, and we have 2 multiplied by 14, we have 28, and we have a remainder of 12. So this seems like it's going to go forever. So you can leave it like this, and you can say that this is, I think here we have 0.64, and then we can say 2 significant figures, or we can say 2 decimal places. You know, there are lots of different ways you can express this, but 0.64 is a good answer. Another way you could have done this is you could have gone a little bit further. So let's do it. Let's go a bit further. You have, make this 120. How many groups of 14 in 120? You should have 8. 8 multiplied by 14, we have 112. We subtract and we're left with the remainder of 8. So this is going to go forever. This is going to keep going. So here you have another choice, which is to say 0.643, and that is 3 significant figures. Or we can say 0.643, 3 decimal places. So there are lots of different, so you can see that the further you go, it depends on the question. Some questions like this would say, round this to the nearest hundredth, or round this to the nearest tenth, or round this to the nearest thousandth. So that's going to be the same thing. And in this case, we can say also nearest hundredth, because it's 2 decimal places, or 2 digits after the decimal. And here is also your nearest thousandth, because it is 3 digits after the decimal point. So that's really how you go about this. Are there any questions? After this, we're going to do a puzzle. It's more of a brain teaser just to see. It's something I think I've done before, but I want to see if you guys remember. So let's go ahead and move on to our brain teaser and see what you guys do with it. So I add 8 to 5 and I get 1 as the correct answer. How is this possible? If I add 8 and 5, I get 1 as the correct answer. How is that possible? How is that possible? What do I need to do? What conditions will make this real or make this true? You add 8 and 5 and you want to get 1 as the correct answer. So I'll give you a few minutes to just try this, and let's see if we can get some answers here. If I add 8 to 5 and get 1 as the correct answer, what needs to happen for this to be true? Okay, Aaron. Add and then subtract. Okay, that's what are you adding and subtracting? Aaron, are you back in school yet? Or are you going back maybe this week or next week? I know sometimes you guys start school earlier. Are you back in school yet? Are you going to school online, or you're going in person, or maybe a mix of both? And how do you like it? Eight is negative. That's interesting. 8 is negative. So if I make 8 negative and add it to 5, would I get a positive number? So these are really good thoughts. You all are thinking through it. So that's good. So if you make 8 negative and you add that to 5, Based on the rules, remember the rule is you subtract the digits, already you get a 3. So there's no way you can get a 1 from that. But I like that thought process. Negative numbers. Okay. Anybody else want to give it a try so I can tell you the answer and then we can move on to the next question? Okay, so the answer is simply that, so I think I have one more question and then one more puzzle. The answer is simply that when you add 8 to 5, you're going to get 13, right? So you add 8 to 5, you get 13. But think about adding 5 hours to 8 a.m. So if I add 5 hours, if I have 8 a.m. plus 5 hours, it's going to put me at about 13:00 hours. And then if I subtract 12 from that, I'm going to get 1 p.m. So that's one way, or it could be 8 p.m. Let's do it 8 p.m. plus 5 hours. That's going to give us 1300 again. We subtract 12 and then we have 1 a.m. So those are the two possible instances that will get 8 plus 5 giving you a 1. So this was just something I found that was a very interesting thought process. And so let's go for one more question, and I think we should be able to get a puzzle after that. So we're looking here at ratio and proportion. 4/7 equal to 11/x. Hello Joshua, how are you? I hope you're doing well. So here we're looking at ratio and proportion. How is school? Are you back in school yet? I hope you're doing well and you're enjoying, or you enjoyed your vacation. I know it's mostly over for so many people. Okay, very good. So you started school. How's school? Okay, so let's look at this question. Look at this question together. So we have 4/7 equal to 11/x. And in this question, if we have a fraction, we can leave it in any form we want. It doesn't really matter what form we leave it. I'm going to give you some time to solve it. I see a lot of you are working, you're probably working so hard at it. And so this should be interesting to see how you go about it. If you need a hint, let me know, I'll give you a hint. Does anyone need a hint? Does everyone know what to do with this type of questions? So the first, I'll give you a hint just so you have something to work with. The clue here is 19.25 for 109. Okay, very good, very good. So we have cross product, very good. So let's go ahead and try to answer this together. And thank you all for those that contribute, everyone who contributes, even if you're not contributing but you come to learn with us. Thank you for always joining us. It makes it very exciting, very interesting to just see how all of you think through problems. And I hope the methods that we use are helping you in your learning as well. That's our ultimate goal, to make sure that you're improving your math knowledge and also improving your grades, and while improving your approach to math topics and math questions. So let's go ahead and answer this. We're going to do a cross product, and cross product simply means multiplying across this way. So we multiply numerator on one side to denominator on the other side, and vice versa. So this is going to give us 4 multiplied by x equal to 7 multiplied by 11. And now we're going to divide both sides by 4. Let's divide both sides by 4. And so we have x is equal to 7 multiplied by 11. That is 77 divided by 4. So you can leave it this way. X equal to 77 divided by 4. You can take it a step and convert it to a mixed number. So we have 77 divided by 4. How many groups of 4 in 7? We have 1. 1 multiplied by 4. We have 4. We subtract, and we have 3 here. And then we can bring down this 7. 37 divided by 4. We have 9 times. 9 multiplied by 4. We have 36. So we subtract, and we left with 1. So you can see x is also equal to 19 whole number 1 over 4. Then we can take this a step further as well and put a decimal right here. Put a 0 here. How many groups of 4 in 10? We have 2. 2 multiplied by 4, we have 8. We subtract, we have 2 here. Put another 0 here. 20 divided by 4, we have 5. 5 multiplied by 4, we have 20. You have a remainder of 0. So x is also equal to 19.25. So all of these are possible answers to this question. It depends on the way your teacher or the question is presented. If you're dealing with a multiple choice problem, you have to see whichever method they want your answer in, and that's how far you want to go with it. So that's that. Are there any questions? So this is a very important topic for those that are going to 6th grade or 7th grade. This is going to be a topic that you have to get really familiar with. Always remember that every topic that we've done today, we have videos on our YouTube channel. So subscribe and like the videos, and also share with people. You may have a friend that is in school struggling, not really sure, maybe doesn't understand the way that your teacher maybe, or his teacher or her teacher may be presenting the concept. Share the videos that we have so that they also have an additional resource to learn different methods that are reliable. The methods we use have been tested and tried for at least 20 years, and they've resulted in a lot of success for so many students. All right, let's go with one more, and then I think we should be done for the day. Oh, that's it. So that's all we have for today. That's all we have for today. I hope this has been helpful to you. For those that are in school, we wish you the best as your semester starts. We're going to keep doing this so that you have an opportunity to learn. And for those that are still on your way to school, I hope this has given you a refresher on the topics that you need to be aware of before you go back to school. I want to also remind you that as you go back to school, we have semi-private, we have our private sessions. Our semi-private are simply private sessions, but with 2 or 3 students. So that means that if you are in maybe 6th grade and you have 2 other friends that are in 6th grade and you guys want to learn together, yes, then the semi-private is good for you. We also have a small group. We don't really like large groups because we want to be able to give every student equal amount of attention. So our small groups typically have no more than 8 students. And in our small groups, we have students that are learning exactly the same. So if you're in 6th grade and you're learning, let's assume you're learning ratio and proportions, we'll put you together. But if you're not learning the same topics, then it'll be difficult for you to get the most out of your time in a tutoring session. So I just want to let you know that these resources are available to you, and we would like you to reach out to us. If you have any questions, you can go to our website, which is mathis.com. You can go to our YouTube channel to get some more information. You can also call our number or send us an email. If you go to our website, you can go to contact us. If you have questions about some of the programs we have, we'll be glad to answer those questions for you. So I have a few more minutes. I think we have about 6 minutes. So if you have, are there any questions that you'd like for me to answer? Are you going through, if you've started school and you're not sure, even for parents, you're going through school and it seems like you're almost you're almost a student with your children, and you just want to have you have questions about the tips that you could apply to help your children better as they're studying and they're learning. Feel free to ask us. You can ask us now. You can also reach out to us. We'll be glad to answer. We want to make sure that we can, our goal is to actually partner with as many families to improve the academic scores of their students. We want them to become academically excellent students, and we also want them to achieve the goals that they have set for themselves or that the parents have set for them, because some students need their parents to push them a bit further, to achieve high scores. So whatever it is that you need, we're here to help you. Feel free to reach out to us. And if you have no questions, want to remind you also that on Thursday we'll have a session like this again. We're going to do a lot of things that are focused on high school students. So we're looking at most likely Algebra 1, all the way to about Algebra 2, Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2. We're going to try to put a few things together to help students that are going back to school. And we're going to do a lot on quadratics, because I know that when you're going back into Algebra 2 especially, your knowledge of quadratics are very important. So expect to see quite a few of that. So we'll look forward to hanging out with you again on Thursday. Thank you for your time. Thank you for spending it with us. And we look forward to working with you again. If you have older siblings, let them know that this is a resource available to them. Or if you just want to learn, because some of you may just feel like, okay, you know what, I want to learn what this high school deal is about. You come join us and ask questions. We'll be glad to have you. Okay, enjoy the rest of your afternoon. Be blessed, and good luck and God blessings on your school year. Thank you.